Cheers, everybody. We are back for another edition of Bourbon on a Budget. I miss you guys. It's been a couple of weeks that we've since we've done this. We used a canned episode 2 weeks ago. Brendan fell asleep at the wheel and didn't do an episode last week like he was supposed to.
I was busy.
So it's been a few
Dang
weeks.
It,
I just speaking of Bringus, what is wrong with your audio over there today?
What's happening, Ben? You look awful and sound awful.
My computer is not cooperating with my mic or my AirPods. So
you're like every 50-year-old person in Zoom during the pandemic. You're just like, I can't get this mic to work. How do I get my screen on? That's what.
Yeah, I still refuse to use Zoom or my screen
or your computer. Apparently,
those are useless to me.
I'm sure it's the computer's fault. Like I'm sure.
Probably.
It's definitely not Ben's fault. I think we can all agree.
I'm doing the same thing every freaking week. I just plug a mic in. That's it.
Well, it has been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks, so maybe that's the issue. Computer forgot
shake off the rust. Yeah.
I did get a new computer since then. So
speaking of shaking off the rust, you did get a new computer?
No.
It's definitely it then.
The same freaking computer.
Man. That was great though. I really like that. So
Ben, do watch out. We're pretty close to a crotch shot there. I think you're okay. Just don't go any higher. Or do.
If you could angle a little lower. I mean, I'm
only fans.
That.
Ben Cox. Never mind.
In the house.
Gosh, you guys are all the worst. Okay, let's get after it. Again, summertime. We're doing a lot of reviews. Brendan, Ben, anything crazy going on in your life, or you just want to review this whiskey?
I don't think I got much craziness. No.
Yeah.
Not crazy.
Nothing crazy. All
right.
Yeah. Let's get into this because it's a really nice bourbon that you dropped off last time.
I did
up in your travels. So yeah, let's get into it.
Do you want to talk about it? Would you like me to talk about it a little bit?
I will do the specs real quick, and then if you want to talk about how you've attained it, and this is also something I know that you guys were on the search for when it was released about a year or so ago. So we are reviewing tonight Wild Turkey's 13-year father and son. It's an export only, I think, an airport find. It's Wild Turkey, obviously. Alcohol percent is 43%, so 86 proof, a little on the lower side. Composition is 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley, and then it is 13 years old. The MSRP is about $70 to $80, but I think the secondary is probably going to be about double that or so. So yeah, those are the specs on it,
or more. I've seen it all the way up to like 250 recently.
Woo!
So yeah. Shout out my guy Jake on Twitter. I want to give out his last name. It's not Jake that listens in and watches with us quite often. It is another Jake. So shout out to that Jake, not regular Jake. Is regular Jake? Will he be offended by that? He'll be all right. No. He's not watching right now, so it's fine.
Worst Jake.
God bless him. The worst Jake. I don't want to give out last name. My guy Jake on Twitter. Thank you so much for sending this in. Again, if you have whiskey that doesn't suck and you'd like us to, even if it sucks, I mean, we'll give it to Ben. We'll tell him it's something good and it'll just be crappy.
True.
We'd love to review it. So hit my DMs and we're happy to talk about it. Okay.
Bounce on them D's, M's.
Whoa.
What'd you say the proof was? Let's jump back into that real quick.
86 proof, which so you sent you dropped off like 5 or 6 sample bottles and there was one that wasn't marked. And I was like, this might be the father and son, but I didn't know much about it other than it was an older Wild Turkey product. And it's going to be tough now because it's half poured, but it's such a light one. Like I thought it was.
It doesn't feel like super old, based on the color. Sorry,
based on the color,
super old.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought this was like mellow corn or something cheap, to be honest. But that's just the color, and I think that's probably the low proof is probably making an impact there.
It is,
down.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's a lot of water in this, right? Like I don't know what it comes out of the still at, but anytime you're getting down in the 80s. A lot of Wild Turkey stuff is what, around the 120 proof when it's like full cask, like 115 or so. What's your rare breed at?
116.8. Usually.
Yeah.
I got the rye. I got the rye right here. It's at 112. Yeah.
So they're probably proofing that down from like 120 if I had to guess. So this is, going from 120 to 80. I mean, that's going to essentially be what, 40% water, 30% water? I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. Brendan is.
No, that sounds relatively accurate, though. I think we're kind of loading, stacking the deck against this, though, just based on how much we all like proof to some extent. So I feel like this is kind of a negative talking point that we're jumping into here before we even really get into it.
Well, I just think when you throw that much water into it, you're even taking away from the age, right? Like it's not just the flavor. You're killing some of that age and the vanilla and the oak characteristics that have probably are supposed to be present there. So I'd love a foolproof version of this. Obviously, they would make a lot less if they had a foolproof version, but it was cool to see Ben's hand that close to the camera for those watching. So, all right, let's talk about the nose. Thank you guys if you're tuned in. If you're watching this, smash the subscribe button. Hit like on Facebook, hit share on Facebook. If you're watching this on Facebook, I started putting it back there just to basically tell you guys, go to YouTube. Watch this on YouTube. Let's hang out over there. I don't want to keep this on Facebook forever. I'll even put the link on it for you guys so you guys can go subscribe over there. Let's talk about the nose. Brendan, get after the nose here.
Extra, read all about it. It's the news. Get it?
The news. No, thank you.
So this is, again, it being on March kind of threw me a little bit. And then I opened it up and I'm like, oh, this is definitely turkey-esque. It has that vanilla bomb, but like a more nuanced vanilla cream soda kind of to me. It's a nice creamy nose. Cinnamon, toasted nut, which is also a wild turkey jam for me. Definitely cherry, standard woodiness for a bourbon. Also a little bit, to me, I always with wild turkey get a nice like cinnamon roll type of vibe, which kind of again falls into the cinnamon as well as that vanilla note too, but always kind of comes off as like a cinnamon raisin bun. So pleasant nose, kind of delving into it initially. Ben? I don't think you're off there. I guess you're passing it to Ben. Go ahead. I said Ben. No one cares what you're saying right now, TJ. Sorry.
Yeah, I get a lot of vanilla, which is consistent with an older, any bourbon. You're going to get more of that vanilla oak. It's almost like a vanilla tea, like a vanilla black tea. Definitely some cinnamon there, but it's not overly spicy. I would say it's more kind of like sweet forward, but not in a like caramel heavy sense. More like more raisin, more fruity, darker fruits. I like this nose a lot. Spoiler alert, I'm actually really enjoying this pour just in general.
Oh, so Ben's gonna rate it 86. I'm
gonna this is gonna go against my normal profile.
Wow.
Turkey Squad. Look at Sean. Sean flipped over to YouTube. Look at that. Sean's a Facebooker.
Yeah.
Sean,
thank you.
Sean, shoot us a text right now. Sean, are you going to Louisville?
Also, we need to promote. Sean's doing some cool stuff with the Southwest Florida Bourbon Society. They're doing some like head-to-head barrel-proof stuff. So I'm not sure where you are along in that, Sean, but
we should do one of their barrel-proofs up against this.
This is good. This is good, guys. I'm just letting you know. This is a good pour. I'm not surprised this is secondary.
Jake asked if it's worth opening. Jake, I don't think so.
But hey, we're not there yet. Hey.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's the whole point.
Flip it, Jake.
We'll have to do a debrief later. But yeah.
When was Jake's son born? 2020? Open that in 18 years or so.
Yeah.
2020?
I get to hold a while. I don't.
Great year.
No, I would say don't. It's not worth opening. It's a different question. We'll do that at the end. That's a value question.
Okay, let's go to taste. We're wasting time. Yes. I kind of agree with Brendan on the nose. Sean's going to New Orleans, not Louisville. 2021. Okay, yeah, your kid wasn't born that year. Give it to me or Ben. We have both had sons born that year. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Christopher, my man, we're back. Yeah, we took a couple weeks off, so we're back. But subscribe on YouTube because that's where we're going to put even more content here coming up soon. Thank you, Jake, for giving that bottle to either me or Ben. We appreciate that. What do you think about the taste, Ben? Shout out other Jake.
Taste is great. My glass is empty already.
You had 2 ounces.
It was good. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, that 86 proof goes down like water, doesn't it?
No, it does, man.
Dude,
it's like it's great after a run.
Yeah. It's hydrating. It hydrates me. It's like
a marathon runner. You like throw it into your face at the end of the run.
It's a Gatorade, man.
Lord.
Yeah. So a little bit of vanilla. I'll get more of like the black tea kind of savory notes coming through, maybe a little bit of lemon, but still not overly spicy, not overly sweet. This kind of just rides the line of like really down the plate of bourbon. Like this is it's certainly wild turkey. You know,
Yes.
it's, as Brendan would say, it is quintessentially
Quintessential.
wild turkey. Quintessentially wild turkey.
It is. It
But
is.
there's been a lot of doll hairs on it.
Right. It doesn't have a whole lot of like apple notes like a Buffalo Trace does. This, I think this is more of like I said, this is more black tea, lemon, vanilla profile.
You don't want that spice too, right? Like it's I do think it's a muted spice.
Bit.
I don't mean to go.
It could be muted.
I don't mean to go. I don't mean to keep going back to the proof, but that is going to impact it. Like I said, if you had this at even 100, 110, like what would the flavor be like on that? But yeah, I think you get some of the spice again, maybe a little bit muted, but you pick that up too. It's a pretty complex taste. Like I think there's a lot going on with it, not in a bad way. Not like it's not all over the place. It's just it does a lot and does it well. Christopher, my man,
just
subscribe on YouTube.
Thank you.
You Facebookers, hit that YouTube button. I put it in the comments. So, what do you think, Brendan? Where you at on the taste?
I'm getting a lot of what Ben's throwing down there. So that lemon that he mentioned, that is quintessential wild turkey. I remember going way back to one of our first reviews. We did the first review. It was the Russell's 10-year. That lemon zest, maybe a little bit of orange peel too, but like it's super citrusy. It was kind of when first time I realized, oh, that's an element of wild turkey's, older products that usually seems to become more pronounced. So definitely getting that with this. A lot of vanilla in here as well. The spice that you guys are talking about, and I think that's an interesting talking point, is like that sometimes the spice, when we say spice, I think that can mean a bunch of different things. Rye spice could be spice like heat. In this case, the spice that I'm getting is like the baking spices, right? Like the cinnamon is pretty consistent there. A little nutmegginess too. So more of that kind of spice for me. And then finally, more toasted nut, like toasted roasted almonds that you get like at a sporting event with that cinnamon and sugar and sweetness in it, with a little bit of toasted element. So if I didn't know this was 86 proof, I think that's kind of tainting the jury pool just a little bit. I would think this is probably about 100 proof with the complexity that we're getting on the flavor profile.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of flavor. There's a decent amount of flavor for the proof.
Yes, yeah. I agree. The age is helping it out.
Yeah, I think when you hear that 86, you're like, oh my goodness. I was actually thinking 95, Brendan. So we're not too far off there. Like I was thinking, it's probably not all the way up to the 101. But this would be interesting to put up against the 101, right? Because I think the age and the complexity. No. I don't have 101 next to me, but Brendan does, and he's clearly getting up to go get it. If you're listening,
that is a terrible decision. I have what it's going to beat the pants off, and we'll talk about that later when we get to value.
Basil,
I have an interesting proposition.
It's going to beat the pants off of Eagle Rare.
Continue.
I think the Kentucky Spirit might be a more fair comp, just like probably a higher level of quality. I mean, the proof is 101. It's basically a Kentucky Spirit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. It's an older 101.
It's a single barrel 101. But let me smell here.
They've been doing some Kentucky Spirits, I think, at barrel proof. I thought.
Oh, interesting. The one
They're
I got
offering
is
like on a store pick.
That's a pretty damn good idea.
Because I feel like they're offering like a rare breed store pick, but they're bottling it as Kentucky Spirit kind of thing.
Yeah, the Wild Turkey 101. The Wild Turkey 101 tastes cheap comparatively.
Yes.
So you know where there's a lot more flavor and depth to where the Wild Turkey 101 is just caramel, corn.
But the vanilla. 15 proof doesn't outrank it by any means.
It makes it hold up. Sorry, I'm on my headphone or my headset wire.
I was like, what are you doing?
It helps out with the nose a little bit with the 101. Like it's not as pretty of a nose, but like it does make an impact there to where at least there's like some hefty drama to it. But the flavor is really where the age and the quality for that father and son definitely pulls ahead like significantly.
Makes sense. Yeah. Finish on this. Ben, you want to go?
Yeah, finish is, I'm going to say delicate is the way that you say it nicely.
That's a very positive spin.
Yeah, so it's a delicate finish. It's non-abrasive. Lackluster is another way of saying it.
Started to get a little more negative. All right, here we go.
You know, but it's just here and there, here and gone. You know, it's not hanging on. That's all.
I know we're not supposed to. Well, Ben will consider. Ben, are you growing out a mustache, by the way?
That's right,
Yeah,
man.
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, so he was
Come
making
out-
fun of
come
me
at me.
growing out a mustache like 3 or 4 months ago. Then all of a sudden, this man sees Top Gun, and all of a sudden, he thinks he's.
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it though.
Spoiler alert, everyone dies.
Just
at the
go,
end.
just go see it.
Oh, no.
See it in the theater because it's probably one that's markedly better in theater.
If everyone
then-
dies in the end, I'm gonna be so pissed at you. Anyway.
Oh, that's
don't-
true. Yeah, when they're in the cockpit and stuff, like,
I hate you guys.
yeah.
The Ben
Stop
cockpit.
talking. That's right.
No, I'm just saying it is better in theaters because, like, when you're flying with them in the
Oh
in the
yeah,
cockpit,
it
like,
actually yes.
that'd be way
I hate
better
you
than on
guys.
your TV.
Y'all are the worst. I'm about.
Can
I'm
you
gonna log
change
off.
Ben's name to
How
Goose?
is that
logging
bad?
off.
Change his name to Goose, please.
Turn your computer
Goose.
off right now.
Goose. It's been off.
The finish.
Computer's useless.
The finish to me is. It's not awful. It is where like that proof is really hindering it though, and it's
There's
disappointing.
nothing. There's nothing offensive about it though.
No, I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's offensive. It's just it's pretty
Just
bland.
it doesn't exist.
Goose stash. And also like so whereas we were like considering the proof like we're not supposed to consider the proof or the price or value all the way through
We
unless
are.
you're
We do.
you're Ben. Yes, we know.
Okay.
But that knowing that it's 86 is super ingrained in my mind like as I'm trying to get that
Stop
proof.
thinking about it.
Anyways,
Does it do anything?
I'm going to say it much less nicely than Ben. The proof is boring.
Yeah.
Or the finish is boring on it. It's pretty bland.
Okay.
Here's a good question in the comments. This was a travel exclusive and comes in a 1 liter. Do you think that's why it was proofed down? Don't know overseas rules. I quickly looked up the blends Takara Red, and that's a 46.5 proof, so 93, I think is where that
Mhm.
comes out at.
Oh.
So I know that they could at least get to. Well, I don't know if being a liter changes it from that being a 750, but I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question, though. That's a great question. I'd love to know if maybe Brendan's our little sleuth, if he could
I'll
look
look
that
it
up. But
What if they had an
Um,
Obtainium store pick at a
can't fly with
duty free shop? I know that'd be hilarious, right?
you have to drink this before you get on the plane.
The whole thing, all 140 proof.
Yeah, I think it's It's a good question. That's a good question.
Proof
I think
isn't set internationally, so no, it's not because. So Sean's the expert,
Yeah, I think.
but that was a good
I
question.
think this has no reason for being in an airport only. Like, this makes no sense. We'll get to value later, but this doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand this model.
Yeah, because
I don't understand it.
I mean, the people who would want this, like the fathers, are traveling away from their sons, so they're pretty awful fathers.
Stop.
I think is the only
Jeez.
Cat Stevens and
This is not it.
and the cradle and the silver spoon. My dad's always traveling.
No, jeez.
Maybe I'm projecting. Love you, Dad. No,
Maybe if you leave your son, you can at least have this on your way out to kind of remind you of him.
Wow. Oh wow. So
Maybe
drown
the-
your
maybe
sorrows
it's-
with
This has
booze.
this has
That's
no.
how-
Maybe
business
it's a
being in an
deeper-
airport.
Maybe
No.
it's a deeper level meaning.
No.
Maybe if your father leaves you, the bottle could be your new dad.
No. Anyway,
Little boy blue and the
Cohesive
man
and
on the
complexity.
moon.
All right, let's rate this thing. Bourbon on a Budget. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you are, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching it later or listening later, hit the subscribe button over on YouTube. I'll put it in the show notes of the actual podcast. Whether you
iTunes.
watch or listen. Did I say
called
that?
that
on
too.
YouTube.
Yes.
Go over to
On
youtube.com/bourbon on a budget.
YouTube, spot a stitch, spot a cloud.
Spot cloud.
Nose 2 points. Ben,
I like the nose.
it's not a point.
1.5.
1.5. Brendan,
1.5.
I like the nose. 1.5.
yeah,
If you have more of
1.5.
this, TJ, I'll take it.
Good. Dead air is great for the podcast listeners.
Yeah, keep sniffing.
They probably love that.
That's why I'm putting the YouTube
It's
link
really-
in, and they can go
Really
watch it later.
transitioning us to YouTube. There we go.
YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna make the audio product terrible, so you guys go watch this from now
Yeah,
on.
seeing it's not much better.
Yeah, well, you're right. It's better for us. Taste, 4 points. Brendan.
So well above average. All right, let's work on this collaboratively. Can I interest you guys?
No,
with
this is your
No,
score.
there's no collaborativity. What is this?
collaboratively?
Wait, he said
Collaborate.
collabority.
Don't
That's way
collaborate.
worse than YouTunes. That's
Don't
way
collaborate
worse.
this.
Collabority.
No collaboration.
That
This
86
is
proof's getting to him.
this
Yeah.
is lightweight.
I haven't had
This
whiskey in
is
a while.
a 3 for me.
Ooh, I had you at 3.25.
Ooh, I like
Ben.
it. I had 3.25. Yeah.
Whew. I'll go 3. I think 3.25 is tough. It is good. Let me try one more time.
It is good. I don't know why this is an airport. This pisses me off.
You know, flying a lot. Yeah, 3. It's a little. If when you keep tasting it, it is a little light. I wish it was. I wish it had a little more oomph. Yeah, not enough oomph for me. Finish, Brendan.
Between a 0.5 and 0.25. I think 0.25 is a little like it's not offensive. We start getting down to 0.25 or 0. Obviously, 0 means it's putrid. It's so bland and meh. 0.5, I guess. I think that's a little generous, but you know, I'll probably dock this a lot when we get to the price. So
0.5.
0.5.
Yeah, I almost went with 0.25 because I just don't think it's very impressive. But I'll.
You guys are missing out.
No, I gave it a 3 out of 4 and a 1.5.
Yeah,
Same
we're almost all
Right.
we're almost the
the
exact
finish
same.
sucks. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the finish is not good. I just feel like 0.25 is a little, but I'm gonna crush it when we get to value.
The flavors
So,
that
no
you
worries.
are getting on the finish, there's this nice toasty note. Like it's fine. It just it's
It's almost like toasted water. Like if you think about like if aging water in a toasted barrel, like that's kind of what you get.
Yeah.
I'm putting this up against the Basil Hayden toast as soon as we get done. That is a good head-to-head. Cohesiveness and complexity, Ben. Out of 1.
I mean, this is at 2, right? Yeah, I'm
Out of
going.
1. Out of 1.
Oh, really?
Out of 1.
Dang.
Out of
Okay.
1.
Okay. 0.75. You can't say this is not cohesive or complex.
Ben gives everything a 0.75 for this. It's amazing.
Okay, a 1 then. Give me a 1.
No,
Going
0.75. I already said it. I'm going 0.75 as well.
is.
Brendan?
0.75. We are way too much in alignment on this one.
I'm going 1 then.
No, you can't.
All right, that's fine. I don't care. All right, so
Fine,
I'd love for you to be the homer on an 86 bottle. So going into value, Ben is a 6.25. Brendan and I have agreed the entire way, and we are at a 5.75.
Ben, you homer you.
I like
That's
wild
right,
turkey stuff. That's
0.75.
good.
Yeah. All right,
By the way,
value.
the 17-year-old bottle and bond blows this out of the water. You two are idiots.
That 17-year-old bottle of bond sucked, man. I just had to
That did
tell
suck.
you.
That
didn't
did
taste
suck.
good.
In
I
the
just-
comments, if you've had both,
We need
please
to
let us know
we need
which
to
one you
blind-
think is
We
better.
need you to blind this because there's no way. I mean,
Okay.
I did not like that at all.
I would be happy to send up some more father.
First
and son.
comment.
yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. People
What?
just don't like that as much.
That one sucked for
Listen, the show even knows that it sucked.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The YouTube feeds become self-aware.
I watched that episode last night.
Yeah.
Where he's going up against the paper, where he's trying to outsell the computer. One more comment. All right. Russell's 13 is the best turkey product. Well, we gave ours away, so we wouldn't know. We did get a sample of it. Sean's
We
right.
did get a sample.
We did get a sample. We didn't know it was a sample, but thank you, Elliot.
Right.
Okay, let's get after it. You get 2 points for value. We're at a 5.75 for me and Brendan, 6.25 for Ben.
Yes.
Brendan, you start us off with value out of 2. This is a $70 to $80 bottle. It's about $250 on the secondary market. You can only buy it in an airport, so it's extremely hard to find. And the proof is 86. Where are you at on value?
0.5. It's not a inherently ugly. It's so hard to find. It's not worth what you would have to find on secondary, which is $200 or so. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but if this was a $70 or $80 bottle that you could find regularly, which is what its MSRP is, then I think it's probably like reasonable value. With probably like more
reasonable value. Jeez,
this isn't like extraordinary. This is good.
Yeah,
but
80 for this, like that's a lot of money.
Is it
Even
$80?
if
I thought it was 70. I thought it was $69.99.
70 to 80.
70 to 80 is what you're kind of finding it for.
Okay, 75. That's a liter though. That's a liter. That's a third more than your average bottle. So you're buying like a $62 bottle. Or like a $60. No, it's even more. It's even less than that. It's like a $55 bottle. $80 is like $55 on a $750.
So $55 for this or $60 for 1920. When are you ever drinking this over 1920?
Here's what I will say about this, and this is
great. If your toddler's teething, this is great to rub on their teeth.
Okay, so let me give you just a little bit of my perspective on this. I think one, you're getting a 13-year-old whiskey. That's really big. And the fact that Russell's Reserve 13-year is like $700 on the secondary market, that's absurd to me. I would never pay $250 for this. I think that's a little ridiculous. Again, I'm getting a liter, not 750 mils. So there is a little bit of value there. I think it beats the pants off. I think it will impress your guests, but I think it will impress the wrong guests because it will crush this. I think it crushes Blanton's at the same price point, and Blanton's is a little higher proof, right? I think the Father and Son is way better of a value than the Blanton's.
So just to correct something you just said, I've got Russell Reserve 13 at closer to like 400, 450 on secondary, not 700. Okay. So, but for the proof that you're getting there, I do think that there is something to be said.
Right.
For that.
You're definitely getting way higher proof. It's just interesting to me that like they proof this down, or they proved a 13-year-old product down, still wild turkey. And it's not
I agree
that bad. So I like this bottle a lot.
So I think it's good. You just can't find it.
Anybody.
You can't find it. Okay. So it has to take a hit for value on availability.
I'm going one here.
Oh,
availability is stupidly difficult. But I'm going one. This is a good bottle.
So you're going one, and you're only considering the retail value. You're not considering the secondary value, like we.
No, he's not. He's being a homer.
Consider it a little bit, otherwise. Okay, if I'm
so you can't find it and you won't pay for it, but you're gonna give it a 1.
Other than that, it's great. It's a fair average.
Yeah. If I got this at retail,
all right, move it on.
I would drink it. Yeah,
would you buy it?
Wouldn't be worth the $250.
Would you buy it and not consider? All right. So Jake asked earlier, should he open his?
If Jake's cost basis is retail, $75.
He shouldn't try to trade it. Should he not try to trade it for something that's $200?
If he can trade it, which he can, then yeah, I'd probably trade it for something else.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you're not connected to those groups, then you're kind of stuck with the bottle. But I would be happy being stuck with that bottle.
That's probably how Jake got it. I don't think he flew internationally and got it.
The problem though is like I don't know when I would reach for the bottle unless I'm trying to introduce people to whiskey. Like this would impress guests.
I'm not wasting this on introducing people to whiskey. I'm not wasting a 13-year-old bottle on them. Like I'm putting Buffalo Trace in front of them and calling it a day.
Right. I'm saying people like a little bit more farther along.
I don't know.
But they don't like proof.
It was traded for 2 Blantons. That's a good trade. Because your cost basis on a Blanton's can be like $60. So
exactly. Like I said, this beats the pants off of Blanton. That's the perfect. I was just
it's 2 Blantons. So he paid 120. So he paid $120 for it.
Jeez, I'm or so more. There. Okay, you know what? I'm good. I would just prove right. No problem. Continue. Oh man. 1.
David. Jeez. Okay, so I'm going to 0.75. I'll split you guys. And I'll go 0.75. I'll split you guys. 1 is way too high. The true value of this is a 0.5. Like Brendan's spot on. I'm giving it a 0.25 higher because my son was born in 2020, my first son. And so
Yep.
like that would be a cool bottle to own based
Mhm.
on that alone. Like if I owned it,
Right.
I'll give it another 0.25. So to me, that's a
Mhm.
0.75. But I think Brendan's spot on. This thing's
Yeah.
impossible to find. When are you realistically ever going to drink it? I'm not wasting a 13-year-old bourbon on somebody. The fact that it's 13 years old is completely diluted by all the water they've put it in it to proof it down so much. So
I also know why. I don't understand the thought process behind this bottle. Like, just give it to me at barrel proof. Don't sell it in an airport. I don't get
Sean,
it. I don't
Jason
get
says
it.
Jason says if we all pitch in for an international ticket, he'll buy a bunch of it for $80 in Atlanta. You can find fairly cheap
Is it in
international
Atlanta
tickets.
right
Just
now?
buy like a one-way.
Jeez.
It'll be worth it.
I don't think it's an international bottle. Is it? I don't know. I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
how duty free
I think
works.
yeah, you're right.
It's not duty free to
Okay,
Tennessee.
never mind. You're right.
Oh, daddy, please. Oh man. All right. Pursuits and purchases. Okay, so final scores. Let's do that real quick. Brendan's going to hell. Ben gives this a 7.
What is happening right now?
I don't know. I don't know what TJ's talking about.
Check the chat.
I can't
Brendan
check
gives
he's
chat.
this.
on
My
his phone.
phone's-
Oh,
What
yeah.
chat?
Well, it was good. Brendan gives this a 6.25. I give this a 6.5, and Ben is a 7.25. Holy cow!
on the board.
One of the
Get on
highest
the
scores
board.
we've ever. No, it's not that good. 6.66 repeating. So if you never, 666. If you never had a hint as to why not get this, then you do now.
Man.
Six
Good bottle.
and 2/3. Not great, but above average for sure.
Yeah, I like it.
Pursuits and purchases. Brendan, you buy anything this week? Ben, you buy anything? Or looking for anything? What you got going on?
I got a bottle that, let's see. I don't know. No, it hasn't arrived yet. That is in the mail, apparently from Mr. Noe that he sent down. So it should be here fairly soon. It's a nice mesquite smoked whiskey, which I'm very much so looking forward to. So Jason, I also need to pay you for that. So thank you. But yeah, that's it.
Paying for mine too. Yeah, I've got one coming as well. It's a Good Times. It's a finish. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I'll be surprised when it gets here. So shout out me. Ben, I know you haven't bought anything.
Yeah.
But are you looking for anything right now?
So speaking of Jake, I went over to Jake's house the other day and we did kind of a big bourbon night. And he had a bottle of the OKI Reserve Batch 1, which is this blended bourbon, and it has a bunch of different mash bills in it. I think it's mostly all MGP. And it was stellar. Really, really good. I thought it was, and we tried a decent amount of high quality stuff that night. I mean, we tried, and this is, and Jake can confirm or deny this, but we tried
Deny it.
Denied. We tried Parker's Heritage. I think it was Parker's Heritage 11-year heavy char wheat. Wheated? Yeah, or wheat whiskey. And I thought that was good. But for what that is secondary, this thing really kept up with it. So I'm probably pursuing one of those OKI Reserve Batch 1s. That was a really good bottle. I was very happy with it. I think it's 100 proof. It's nothing super high, but
it's like 86 proof.
No, it's not.
Oh, I love 86 proofers. My name's Ben Goostache Cock. I love a good 86 proof whiskey.
It's 100 proof. It's 100 proof. Okay. I think it's
really 86 the proof.
Barrel strength, huh, Ben? 100
I
proof.
think it's good. I think it's good, guys. You guys are missing out. So
that 100 proof probably burnt your nose hairs off.
Yeah, not as mustache hair, unfortunately. Do you need a little bit of ice for the 100 proof?
Yeah, I mixed it with Coke. Yeah. It was OKI and Coke. It was good.
Okay.
I really enjoyed that bottle,
okay, I've had enough.
Job, guys. It's great.
So it looks like those are only those OKIs are only.
Oh my God.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh my God! No, you kept going. Keep going.
The OKIs are only like $100. Yeah, I'm seeing one for 100 right now.
I think that's a really good deal. I think it's a really good deal. I think their MSRP
Eddie
was like 75 or 80.
Eddie's our new producer. Gonna do some
Uh-huh.
some YouTube work for us, do some thumbnails and stuff. Dude, I've got a Penelope for you. I got one. It's
Yeah,
actually
those are
Ben's.
easy.
He never
Those
came
are
and
easy
got
to
it
find.
back, but it's on
What?
Ben. Don't worry about it.
Well done.
Thanks, Ben. That's very generous of
Let's-
you. Eddie's been doing a great job. Team player. It's nice of
Yeah.
you to pay him in bourbon. Penelope.
It's a
bourbon.
toasted barrel too. I'll give you one of mine too.
Oh, is it the
Somebody else
cast strength toasted one?
Yeah, yeah,
Dude, that's a banger. That's really good.
yeah.
Ben's is
I
the
was wondering where my
crappier
other
one.
bottle was.
Yeah,
Now
you're
it's
welcome.
gone.
We tried to sell it once and didn't work. So Eddie, it's all yours. Venmo me $150. All right.
This is an unfortunate night.
Oh man. Well, at least you have your 86 proof to keep you company, to keep you cool
Yeah.
in the
Who sent us
summer
that bottle
nights.
anyway? Oh, it was Jake, not
a-
Reg Jake.
Not the worst, Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No. Good, Jake.
Jake.
Okay. Hey, we are going to do reviews for the next couple of weeks. And then basically once football season starts, regular football season, once college football season starts, we'll do a little bit more content. We'll do a little bit longer episodes, although this went for 36 minutes because I think we missed each other so much. Ben, Brendan, do you guys have anything to say before we get out of here? Subscribe, like, do all those things. If you're listening, again, go to YouTube. It's in the show notes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all those places. And you can find the link to YouTube. Go subscribe. Even if you don't watch it, hit the subscribe button. We would certainly appreciate it. You got anything, Brendan?
Nope, I do not.
Nopey? Nopey? Noe?
Oh.
No, you do not. Ben, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Boy, that's fantastic.
Nope.
I
Ain't
only
got
asked
nothing.
that because I saw he was on mute.
You knew I was
and I thought it
muted.
would be
Yeah,
funny.
get out of here.
All right. We will see you guys next time.
On
TJ
Survivor.
Brendan Sinone, Ben Cock, Bourbon on a Budget. Cheers. This is probably the wrong one, but YOLO.
Nailed it. Come on, Ben, I have a mustache. Call me Goose. Call me Rooster. I haven't seen the most popular movie in the world yet. I'm Ben.